There's been an awful lot of discussion about artificial intelligence and what new cool applications are going to crop up. But there's been very little insight as to how AI is going to actually change the commercial structure of the travel industry. We at L.E.K have had dozens of discussions with senior leaders around the travel industry, and we've done meta-analysis on what they're telling us they're seeing in terms of trends and impacts.
So it's a number of very interesting trend lines that came out of the study, and 3 of them were of particular interest. We gave them the following names. There's the Goldilocks Opportunity, the Netflix effect, and then travel as a service. One of the first areas that we see an implication on the travel industry from AI technology is actually that the biggest disruption is going to occur in the middle of the market. Hence we call it the Goldilocks effect. Often you find in many industries new technology and innovation impacts the top of the market first. So we think about cars or consumer electronics or fashion. The newest features occur at the highest price points and then trickle down into the rest of the industry. We think in travel we'll actually see a different dynamic where it's the middle that will be most affected. So we expect that middle market players will be able to use AI to bring personalized services and concierge services to their guests that previously would have only been available at higher tiers or luxury price points.
The most acute impact could be the budget traveler trading up to the middle because AI affords a much higher quality differential than they're seeing today. But at the other end of the spectrum, you could see high-end suppliers really having to justify their price premium in a different way.
The second trend that we recognized is how the channel will be impacted by AI. And so what I mean by channel, the players that are offering travel services to customers to purchase. What we'll see, as we see in other industries, the player that has the most data can often be the most powerful. And what that means is, well, if I have the most data to provide to my machine, then I will have the best solutions, the smartest adaptation to what the customer expects. Hence the term the Netflix effect. When you look at media or search, for example, you see that they're very dominant players because they have the most data that allows them to be the smartest in how they suggest and provide solutions to their customers, which in turn should drive market share, which will mean that they get more data. So there's a virtuous cycle in how AI can empower players in the value chain to become even more effective.
The natural inclination would be to say the tech giants should win because they have the most and most rigorous data out there. But as we've seen, regulation is starting to crack down on their ability to indirectly observe behaviors. Whereas the OTAs, they actually follow the guest across the entire travel journey. So they have a huge opportunity to potentially collect the richest data set of all. And they may be doing that in a covenant with the consumer because the consumer would be willing to cede that information in exchange for better predictive power and potentially loyalty points. There's potentially space for small players in here too. You can see all types of different business models and challengers coming up and carving up this market. One of the clearest places for smaller players to actually carve out share is in pursuit of travel as a service, which is our third major observation about how AI is going to impact the overall market.
As travel consumers engage more with AI, we'll see them behave in similar ways to how they did in the past with regular travel agents. They will trust that the AI travel agent understands what options exist and understands what my needs are, and therefore will provide the solutions that I will ultimately prefer. Rather than having to do research and then make a decision in the moment about what to purchase, the consumer can provide information about the dates they have available, the types of interests they have for certain types of trips, their budget. Supposing a consumer joined an adventure travel club. Well, that adventure travel club has permission then to offer that consumer other things beyond travel, like products associated with the trip, other brands and consumer goods that are relevant to that theme could partner with that club to access that customer. The club will know all of this information and then can go and passively find the best opportunities for that consumer given all that information.
Key takeaway of all this is that while artificial intelligence is changing applications in a lot of different industries, we see tectonic shifts happening in travel in particular.
It's really not a case of what's good and bad. It's a question of opportunities and new competitive structures that you're going to have to contend with as these new trends impact the industry.
It would be a mistake to think that AI is just going to do what you currently do in a more efficient fashion. That'll certainly be the case. But you would hate to fail to understand just how it can empower new forms of competition in travel.